Alright, so we can't have a part of the Stop the Hop kit without doing a little 0 to 60, so let's see what we can get today. It's a little bit warm, but we'll give her a shot. Back everybody, thanks for tuning in again. Like I was saying in the last video, we got a few parts in finally, so today we're carrying on with another install. It's part of the Steeda's Stop the Hop kit. I will eventually get the whole kit on this car. I'm just not going to spend a huge chunk of cash right now. I think the whole kit, if you get the one that includes everything's like almost 700 bucks, so not going to spend that kind of money all in one shot, and this way it kind of spreads it out. It'll show you guys all the different parts and what they do, how easy they are to install and all that. So hopefully you like the way I'm doing it, and make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, because the more people that subscribe to the channel, the quicker we can get parts and carry on with the build. So I'll flip you around and I'll show you what we got going on today. If you didn't check out the last video, make sure you go check it out. We got some stuff from Dynamics. Basically what happened was the side markers. I got the tinted or smoked LED side markers. The driver's side crapped out. So emailed Dynamics. They were awesome, sent out a whole new pair. So we got those back on the car, we're good to go. So make sure, if you're looking for any kind of lighting, check them out, they're awesome. But for today's video, we got what's under here, part of Steeda's Stop the Hop kit. You can see we got our 4 little bushings here, or spacers, whatever you want to call them. We have the IRS subframe alignment kit. That's your parts number. You can use the code, whatever, scan it, find it if you want your own. But basically, for me, this won't do too much now, but I just wanted to get them in there. They were super cheap. I was ordering stuff anyways, so I figured might as well grab them while I'm at it. And basically what it is you can see there's actually 2 different sizes. There's a front and a back. I'll show you that when we get under the car. But basically this just kind of helps keep the whole IRS subframe in the back straight, because you don't know if Ford got it all together perfectly. So this just helps you stay aligned, and you know, the straighter your car is, the better. We'll start to get the power to the ground. We don't want any wheel slip, wheel hop, hence Stop the Hop kit, which is all coming. But basically, if you have a lift, you can actually do this without taking the wheels off. But for the sake of the video and the sake of no lift in my garage, I'm going to jack the car up, pop the wheels off, and then I will show you where these go. And for anyone wondering why the Pilot Sport 4S's cost so much, you can see how much tread is left on here still. My car has 25,000 kilometers on it, and they're looking not too shabby at all. Like, that's way more than half tread life left still. So I don't do, crazy burnouts all the time, go nuts with them. I did go to the drag strip a couple times. That's why we're installing some of the Stop the Hop stuff. But if you're in the market for tires, definitely worth the dollar you're going to spend. The other thing is this one had a nail at one time. They patched it inside. And then I noticed if you roller, where the heck did it go? Here, you could see it in the last video. The head fell off now, but I don't know if that went right into the tire or if it's just in the rubber part here, but I'm not going to mess with it. It's holding there for now, so I'll leave it alone. And then if you keep going, see if I can find the other one here. It was just a tiny piece. I don't know exactly where it is. It picks up too much low rocks, but they like the nails for some reason. Alright, so under the car, you can see your 1 subframe bolt is here, just behind the exhaust. It's a 22 mil when you need to get them out. They are pretty tight. It's 129 foot-pounds once you torque them back down. And the other one is down here. Move the light. You can see your bolt there. And then to get that plate out of the way, it's 2 bolts right there. They're 13 mil. So you can pull this plate, basically, the stamped steel comes right off. And then, like I said, your fatter, if you grab these two, the fatter one goes up front with the stamp plate. The skinny, taller one will go in the back. That's that one there. And the one thing I forgot to mention with these is Steeda makes them out of Delrin. It's really strong. You can tell it's a solid piece. It's almost like a plastic. And you don't want a steel spacer in there, because not only there's a bolt, obviously, and when your vibration's happening, metal on metal, you're going to scratch it and gouge it. You're going to get squeaking and noise. And the other part that people don't realize is when you're rubbing metal on metal, and some metals don't like each other, you'll actually start to rust that bolt. And that's not something you want to be rusting out, clearly, because it's holding your frame together. So, excellent parts they sell, and it should hold everything in line. So yeah, this is a couple more Steeda parts going on. You can see in here, we have the progressive lowering springs, progressive sports, that's Steeda as well. But for now, do one at a time. So I'll get that one out. I'll show you how easy they are to slide in. And it's a hit and miss apparently. It's either going to be, like when I lowered the car, I got it aligned, so it should be pretty close. So hopefully I don't have to wiggle too much around. They do recommend getting realigned once they're in. I'll see if I have to really fudge around the bolts to get it in. I'll probably get it realigned. If not, I will wait, because like I said, more parts for the Stop the Hop kit will be coming shortly, and I don't want to, you know, have to go and pay to get the car aligned over and over and over again. So like I said, we'll get the rear one out first, put them back in, don't torque them down, just get them tight, and then carry on with the next one. What we're trying to accomplish here is, if you look now that the bolt is a little bit loose, you see how it wiggles? If you come down here, if I can get the right angle for you, you can see that space. The bolt has a lot of play back and forth. So basically, what the goal is here is this will slide in that hole, and that hole is just big enough for the bolt to go through, so there's no wiggle room. So basically, if we take this out, you can see that in that hole there, this thing is a nice and snug fit. Okay. So basically, what I recommend, because it's going to be a pain in the butt, there's no play once this is on, right? That slides over. You can see the bolt in there. There's no, maybe a millimeter, not even a millimeter play. But you want to put this on the bolt first, because when you try to get it back up in this hole, if the bolt is too long, you can see you hit the exhaust, right? It's just a little bit of a pain. So you need that little bit of an inch or whatever it is to get in there first. Then give her a push, and she goes right in. And like I said, it's a snug fit. You can see I didn't thread the bolt in or anything, yet it's sitting in there. So we'll get her going, get it lined up with the hole, crank it down. Don't torque it down, because you want to do this one and that one, or down here is your other one. And then, if the camera will focus for us again, there we go. Then you want to do the other side first, because then if anything's out of whack, this will straighten it all. And then when you crank it down, it's the same idea on the front. I got that plate out of the way. This guy sits there. You got to take it off, because that hole is obviously clearly too small to get that guy in there. But if you see, you put this bolt back in, find a spot, I'll thread her in a bit. But you can see, same as the front, there's a lot of wobble in there. So basically, if you take this out, short fat one up front, Same thing, you can see nice solid fit on the bolt. Like, look at that, it even holds the bolt in on its own. You really got to give it a wiggle to get that out. And then basically same as the front, you got the hole there, and she will just slide in. Try to find, I don't know if you guys can really see it through there, but thread it in, and you can see already, same as the back, that bolt has no play on it at all. So they're definitely doing what they need to do. And you could hear, even just pushing it in and putting the sleeve on, there's no squeaks or squealing, so you're not going to get any weird noises. And it says no vibration as well. So Steeda makes some really good stuff. I wouldn't worry about any of that. But I'll get this on, the other side back on, torque them down, and then we'll take her for a drive and see if we notice any vibration or anything. All right, so we got all four on. You can see the passenger side. Well, you can't see, but it's done. Torque down, like I said, 129 for your two subframe bolts. Those two little 13 mils, just crank them. Give it a reef on it a bit. They don't have to be stupid tight, but make sure they're tight. And one thing I forgot to mention, when you're threading in your, or I noticed on my car anyway, when you're threading in the subframe bolts, because it's basically straight in, straight out now, if you're not exactly aligned, don't go like ramming it in with an impact or something, because if it's not threaded properly, you're going to cross thread it and then you're screwed. So I use my ratchet. I don't have an impact, but I don't use an impact on any suspension stuff really, especially the frame stuff, because if you mess it up, then you're really hooped. But like I said, the only one that was a bit of a pain was the front on the passenger side, and it was just slightly out, so I just had to kind of lift on it a bit, crank it down, and it still went in, didn't cross thread it or nothing. But they're all in there, it's all tight. Just like I thought, because I had the car aligned after I lowered it, it was pretty, like this side was dead on. Like I said, that side was just a hair. Just had to wiggle her a little bit to get it back in there. But other than that, she went in pretty smoothly, only took about 20 minutes. Well guys, it's a few days later. I figured I'd drive around with the bushings in there for a few days, just make sure it's all good. I don't want to give you guys wrong information or anything that, you know, placebo effect type of thing like I always say. But basically, you can't tell they're in there. There's no wobble, no vibration, nothing like that, which Steeda all claims. No noise, no squeaks, no anything, which 100%, that's correct. And the other thing I wanted to just throw in there is that the alignment, I'm not going to get it aligned with this. It says that you should, but like I said earlier, I aligned the car when I lowered it. It's on the Steeda springs, which wasn't, well, it's quite a while ago now, but it's not going to go out of alignment too badly on its own. But I figured it'd be pretty close, and you guys seen in the video when I actually put the bolts and stuff in, it wasn't too bad. There was one passenger front side bolt was a little bit more of a tight squeeze to fit in there, but other than that, now you can't see me, I'm in the dark, but other than that, I wasn't expecting it to be too far out of whack. So like I said, she drives no wobbles, no vibration, no nothing, so definitely worth it. It is only par to stop the hop kit, but in the end, once I get the rest of the kit on here, it'll definitely be worth it, especially once the track opens up. I've heard good things about this for your 0 to, or not 0 to 60, but your 60 foot. And obviously 0 to 60, the more you can grip and launch, the better your 0 to 60 will be as well. So we'll test that all out and we'll go from there. All right, so we can't have a part of the stop the hop kit without doing a little 0 to 60. So let's see what we can get today. It's a little bit warm, but we'll give her a shot.